dear students, welcome you all on the behalf of Rahul Anand Tutorials. So as you know that I am Rahul Anand and this is somewhat around my channel whose name is actually the Rahul Anand Tutorial. So now let's begin with the very interesting topic which are often being asked in terms of your Neet, open the Aiims, open the All India Pre-Medical. So these are literally belonging from which of the chapters of your book. So these are belonging from the excretory product and elimination. So now let's understand what are actually the excretory system. So excretory system is what? It is the act of removal of the non-gaseous nitrogenous waste such as what? Such as the ammonia as well as the uric acid as well as what? As well as the urea. Often we are having the different parts in it such as the salt, often the water molecules as well as the harmful metabolic waste. So primarily when I am talking about the metabolic waste, you have to understand the certain things in it. So what are actually the metabolism? So the overall biochemical reaction proceeding in terms of our body coming under what? So it will be coming under the metabolic case. Often we are having the two broad categories in which our metabolism are literally being divided. So these are the anabolism as well as the catabolism. So what are actually the anabolism? So when the particularly complex compound are literally being formed from what? Simpler ones, it will be coming under what? The anabolism. As well as when we are talking about the catabolism, the case will be just opposite to it. So you understand? But here when we are talking about the case of the metabolism, you have to understand. So these are actually what? So these are coming under nothing else but these only mean the ammonia, NH3 as well as the uric acid as well as the urea. Fine, urea. So now let's understand about these in the detail here. So when we are talking about the ammonia, so these are what? So these are particularly highly toxic as well as often known as what? So most of the hydratic animals are known as what? So these are known as the amniotic. So why is it? So these are known as the amniotic because they have to excrete these products, means they are coming under the exposure of the ammonia light waste which should be excreted from where? From their body in terms, playing an important role to maintain the health status regarding their body. So you understand about the elimination as well as the excretion. These means what? To maintain the status of the cell health of an in terms of the organism body health primarily. So now, so these ammonia are literally being found in what of the region? So these will be actually present in terms of the, can you tell me, in the water bodies. Thus, what of the organisms should have the best accommodation with reference to these mean the ammonia waste? So it should have the here mean the hydratic animals. So you know about the hydratic animals. So what will be the hydratic meaning? Actually, so these are the water as well as the marine. Often what? Often the aquatic animals. So what are actually these? These will be the fish. Often the zooplankton as well as the another such as the whales. Often you know about the sharks. So these are literally coming under the, all are coming under from the aquatic animals only. So the question arises, why, from where does this means excreted off? Means this ammonia waste. Fine. So it will be excreted from what? So it will be excreted from the gills as well as it will be excreted from the gills as well as the body layers or rather the body surface. Understood? So these will be present in term mainly in term of the where? In term of the hydratic behavior. So the best accommodation with reference to these means what? Ammonification will be accommodated from what of the organism? Generally for the what? Generally for the hydratic animals. Fine. Now, so now let's understand about the here mean the second one, mean the uric acid. So these are known as what? So these are known as the waste toxic. Often in this case, what happens actually? In this case, very less water loss occur. Often the organism here coming under the excretory mechanism of the uric acid, it will be coming under what? So it will be coming under the uricoclinic. Find here. Uricoclinic. So generally, example with reference to these will be what? So it will be the insect, then birds, then the reptiles. So you know about these very clearly. Now, so let's proceed with the third. Talking about the third one case, mean the urea. So these are actually what? So these are my less toxic as compared to the ammonia. Often when we are comparing the case, so what are actually known as the ureoclick. So these are actually what? So the organisms mean the tertiary animals, or rather the tertiary animals will be coming under what? So it will be coming under the here mean the ureoclick case. So the accommodation are generally being provided as well as undertaken under what? So these will be undertaken under the urea case. So now let's understand about these mean the components of the human excretory system. So primarily when I'm telling you about the excretory system, you are very clear about it. So what are actually these? The act of the removal of the non-gaseous nitrogenous wastes, and these are what actually? So these are nothing else than the ammonia, uric acid, often the urea etc. So we are actually having the different types of the vital organs in terms of our body. So these are actually what? So these are skin, often what? Often the here mean the kidney. So primarily we'll be understanding about these. So our skin is having what our things actually. So these will be having the sebaceous gland, then the sebums, often the hair follicles. So these hair follicles are having the nado micro structure, pores like structure, playing important role for what? Playing important role to transform as well as excrete the soil as well as what? As well as the harmful wastes literally from what mode? So literally from our skins. So you know what the latent heat? What are actually the latent heat? So these are the hidden heat present in our body, and when we are bringing as well as coming under the exposure of the heat condition as well as the summer condition, what happens? The thermoregulatory mechanism with reference to the accommodation of what? With reference to the accommodation of the survivor are literally being employed. Thus what will happen? Thus these mean the sweat will start to come out, and in the course of this what happens? The amount of the waste in terms of the NaCl, often the skin waste, often the tissue wastes are literally coming under from our body. So now let's understand about these mean what are actually the components of the excretory system. So in this literally we will be zoom as well as understanding about the brief inspection related with our kidney case. So here is the diagram. So it is the diagram of what? So it is not the diagram of only the kidney. So it is of course the diagram of the urinary system. Fine. Now, so literally we will be understanding about these in the urinary system, but briefly about what? The kidney. So now let's understand about these when what are actually the kidney. So what are kidney? Kidney are the pin-shaped structure present in the back side of what? So what are actually the kidney? So kidney are the bean-shaped structure present in the back side of our abdomen. So you know about the abdomen. So it is actually nothing else but the cavity which are actually coming under the descending portion of our stomach region. So this will be present, but from what side? The back side of the abdomen. So present in the front side will be your abdomen part. Then in the back side portion we will be having the region of our kidney. So these are actually bearing the bean-shaped. So now let's understand about these mean what are actually the here mean the location of the kidney. So it will be present where? So it will be present in the both side of your vertebral column as well as what? In the descending portion of your abdominal cavity. Find here. So now when we are talking about this means what are actually the vertebral column, you have to understand such as we are having the spinal cord, and of course these are only coming under what? So these are of course known as the vertebral column case. Fine. So your spinal cord with reference to the back portion as well as from vertebral portion it will be having the specialized name. So these are actually coming under what? So these are actually coming under the vertebral column. So you know about the vertebral column as well as the reason. So these are actually coming under the part of the skeletal system. So now, so let's understand about these mean the region of the vertebral column. So it is often having what things? It is often being further divided, such as what? Such as the cervical, thoracic, then what? Lumbar, then sacrum, as well as in the last you will be having the coccygeal region. So the ratio with reference to these will be what? As well as how much? So the cervical will be having the 12 in number from 1 to 12 literally coming under these mean the what? The vertebral column case. As well as the 12 portion from the uppermost side it will be employed by whom? It will be employed by none of the other, but from the cervical. Then what? 8. With reference directly proportional for what? Directly proportional for the thoracic wrist. Then 5. Directly proportional for what? Cervical number. Then thoracic wrist. So 5 will be directly proportional for the thoracic wrist. Then again cervical number, thoracic. Then the sacrum. Again 5. In last the coaching here. It will be how much? So it will be actually 1 in number. So these are somewhat the condition about your vertebral column. So we will be often understanding about this in our next lecture, etc. So now let's understand about these. So we have understood about the kidney. So these are actually the bean-shaped structure. After that, your urinary system is often having the different parts in it, such as what? Such as you are having the hilum. So hilum are actually what? So these are the concave shaped structure. So you could find here on the board here. So these are actually the concave spine. So your nephrons are actually what? So these are the unit of kidney as well as present in term of what? Present in term of the millions of the numbers, etc. Often you are having what? Often you are having the GFR, with the glomerular filtration rate. About 80% of the blood are literally being purified with reference to your GFR. So these are coming under the gross morphology of your kidney. We'll be understanding about these in our next lecture. So now let's understand about the second one, mean the urethra. So urethra are what? So urethra are the cylindrical tube-like structure. So you could find here. So the role of these urethra will be what? Playing an important role to transport the urine from what? From kidney towards the urinary bladder region. So now let's understand about the urinary bladder. So what are actually the urinary bladder? So these are the muscular shape like structure present in your pelvic region. Of course, then its particularly size changes with reference to what? Its particularly size changes from the condition. So suppose that when we are having the amount of the urine in our urinary bladder, then what will happen? It will be accommodating with reference to the size of what? Of actually the here with the ball shaped size. Fine. As well as when we particularly excrete as well as discharge the product in terms of your elimination, such as the urine, then what will happen? Its size will literally changes of the urinary bladder. So its size will actually changes from the ball size towards the pear shaped size. So pear means what? Just like the element shaped size. Means very last we are having what? So in the last we are having the urethra. So your finally in the urethra will open into what? So your urethra will finally open it outside into the urethral apparatus. Finally. Now, so in the last you are having these with the kidney. So in the human we are having actually 2 kidney. So often in terms of our kidney we are having what things. So in the kidney we are having the renal kidney. So these are playing important role to transport the blood. Find here. So when we are talking about these, mean what are actually the renal. So you have to understand these are actually the part as well as given in terms of the Latin name. So these are actually coming under from what? Means your what? Means your these mean the renal. So these are actually the, now let's understand what are actually the nephrons. So nephrons are what? So nephrons are the functional unit of your kidney. Often we are having the millions of the tiny what? The nephrons present in terms of our here mean the kidney region, playing important role for what? Playing important role to maintain the course or the vital role in terms of the purification. Remember, I have told you we are often having the GFR means what? The glomerular filtration rate recognized in term to in the purification of about 80% of the blood region as well as you have to often understand about these means when we are talking about the kidney. So these are often resembling the vital amount of the volume as well as the weight. So what its weight is around how much? So the weight of your kidney will be around, tell me, it will be around 120 to 170 gram. Fine, means your kidney. Now, so let's understand about the mechanism of kidney. Play an important role in terms of what? To maintaining the here, with the fluid level with reference to your cell. So you understood about the cell as well as the cellular components. So playing an important role means your kidney often playing an important role in terms to maintain the fluid level with reference to your cellular components. So you know about the cellular component. These are nothing else but the nucleus, then the endoplasmic reticulum, then the endoplasmic reticulum, the here smooth endoplasmic reticulum, the what? Then what? Then you are often having these, means the Golgi complex, the Golgi apparatus, then the vacuoles, then etc. Often the nucleus, in term prokaryotic, eukaryotic. The one in which the nucleus will be present, known as what? So it will be known as the eukaryotic. As well as the one in which the what? The nucleus will be absent, coming under the prokaryotic case. Fine. So you understood about the volume as well as the weight of the kidney. So it will be around how much? So it will be around 120 to 170 gram. Often your kidney play an important role in terms for what? In terms for maintaining the fluid level with reference to your cellular component. Fine. So your cell is often having the best mechanism with reference to the excretory system. So these are literally often being provided by nothing else, but these are often being provided by your kidney. Fine. Because each of the every organs in terms of our body is itself having its own brain, which particularly resembles the function of what? In terms of its coordination system. Fine. Thus, our brain is of course present, but it is performing the vital role as well as the course of action. Thus, by the accommodation of all the function, we could get the body which is having the ability to perform the vital course of work. Now, the second role with reference to your kidney will be what? So it is playing important role to maintain the osmotic balance with reference to your body region. So osmosis is actually what? Can you tell me? So the discharge of the fluid or either the water from what? From the higher concentration side towards the here, mean the deficiency concentration side or either the lower concentration side, coming under what? So it will be coming under the osmosis case. Often your kidney of course playing important role to maintain what? To maintain the urinary system itself. Fine. So your kidney is often playing important role in terms for what? So your kidney is often playing an important role to maintain the ionic balance with reference to your body. Remember? So you are having the blood pressure, fine, hypertension, hypotension. When we particularly consume the amount of the water, so the role is basically being promoted to reduce the blood pressure. Why is so? This is due to because the amount of the NaCl concentration in terms of what? In terms of the ionic balance are literally being resolved. Means what? Your hypertension case with reference to the blood pressure will be resolved. Fine. So these mechanisms are literally being provided by what? So these are provided by nothing else than your kidney. Fine. So this is somewhat the condition when we are talking about the excretory system and elimination of waste, in which we have understood about what are things, in which we have understood about what are actually the kidney. Often what? Often the urethra, often the urethral orifice as well as the apparatus. Then some bit introduction of the renal tubules, often what? The glomerular filtration rate, often the nephrons, often the components of the excretion, often what are actually the excretion, often what are actually the metabolic waste. So I thought we have got the concept what are actually these. So if you like the work with reference to the education, often the lectures as well as the videos, so you could often subscribe, like as well as comment as well as share my videos with reference to what? With reference to the Rahul Anand tutorials. So very thank you.